Three questions. I need you to answer them honestly. Is your career threatened by AI? If it is your retirement threatened by it too? And if both of those answers is yes, what should you be doing about it today? Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're going to have the answers to all three. Most people assume AI is coming for someone else's job, someone less experienced, someone more replaceable. The data actually shows it's the opposite. The workers most exposed to AI displacement right now, they're not the entry-level employee. They are experienced, they are educated, they're white collar. People who spent decades building an expertise in a specific domain, people exactly like you. Let me give you some examples. For 20 years, the financial analyst came in early, pulled the overnight data, built the morning report by hand, and knew which numbers to trust and which numbers to question. That report now generates overnight, automatically, before anyone sits down. The analyst who used to take 3 hours now takes 20 minutes to check the work the machine already did. One analyst where there used to be 4. The underwriter spent a career learning how to read risk, not just the numbers, the story behind the numbers. That judgment, the kind that takes 15 years to develop, is now being replicated by a model that processes 10,000 applications in the time it takes a human to open a single file. Insurance companies are not hiding this. Quite frankly, they're announcing it in their earnings calls. The middle manager was the connective tissue of every organization, the person who translated strategy into execution, who ran the meetings, managed the reporting, kept the team aligned. AI now writes the meeting summaries, generates the status reports, tracks project milestones automatically, flags when a team member is falling behind. The layer of management that used to require 8 people, it now requires 3. And the 3 who remain are the ones who learned how to work alongside the machine. How about legal research? Legal research used to take days. A junior associate buried in case law, cross-referencing statutes, building the foundation for the senior attorney's argument. AI does that work in minutes. Major law firms have already announced they're reducing associate headcount because of it. The work didn't disappear. The people doing it, those are the ones who did. How about the marketing director? They built campaigns, managed agencies, wrote the brief, approved the copy, knew the brand voice better than anybody else in the building. AI now writes that copy, generates the creative brief, A/B test, the headlines automatically, produces 30 variations of an ad in the time it used to take to write one. The team that needed 10 people now needs 2. Oh, and by the way, a subscription. I want to be honest with you about what this actually means. This is not a future threat. This is not some vague projection. This is happening right now in your industry, possibly in your company, maybe in your department. Look, I lived this shift from the inside. My career moved from a manager who was a generalist to a specialist to a senior executive, now to watching AI-supported employees do the work of 3 people. And the headcount got cut accordingly. I'm not guessing about what's coming. I've watched it arrive, which is why question 2 matters more than most people realize. Most people think about AI displacement as it's a career problem. It isn't. It's a retirement problem that starts in your career. Here's the math that nobody is talking about. If you're 57 years old and AI displacement creates a gap in your income, even a 12-month gap, the downstream consequences are not 12 months of damage. They compound. Your Social Security strategy depends on your highest 35 earning years. A displacement gap at, say, 57 or 58, it is going to replace a high earning year with a 0. That permanently lowers your benefit. Your savings draw, you start earlier than you planned. The compound growth that you were counting on, it stops. The retirement window that felt, comfortable, it gets narrower every single month. That gap stays open. And here's what makes the difference for somebody who got laid off, say, at age 35. At 35, you have 30 years to recover. At 57 or 60, the margin for error is not what it was. The window's open right now. It will not stay open. So here is what I want you to understand before I tell you what to do. AI doesn't win. The person who knows best how to use AI wins. And that person is the one who brings 30 years of judgment to a tool that has none, is not replaceable. They are dangerous. AI can write the underwriting report. It can't tell you which client is about to walk. AI can generate the marketing copy. It cannot read the room when the campaign is wrong before the data even tells you so. AI can flag a team member who's behind on a deadline. It cannot know that the reason they're behind is something happening at home, and that what they need right now is not a performance review. That instinct you have, that read, the way you can read people, that judgment that got built over the decades, that's exactly what makes you dangerous with this tool, because you know what good looks like. You know when the answer is wrong, even if it sounds right. A 28-year-old prompt engineer doesn't have that. You do. So here's something I want you to do this week, not someday, this week. Open Claude or Chat GPT, all right, two of the AI platforms, and type this or something very close to it. Let me slow down and give this to you. I want you to ask me questions. Now, this is what you're typing to them, all right? Quote, I want you to ask me questions one at a time to understand my background, what I spent my career doing, and what I'm trying to figure out next. Then, I want you to help me identify where my experience still has market value and how to position it. Now, that conversation is going to shock you like it did me. It's going to reflect back things about your own experience that you stopped seeing because you have been too close to it for too long. And one more thing, depending upon where your kids are in their careers, ask them how they're using AI at work. Ask for specific examples. Have that conversation at dinner. This is not weakness. This is the kind of intelligence that AI is never going to be able to gather. And it's going to teach you more in one conversation than a week of reading about AI ever will. Now, this is not a career problem. It is a retirement problem that starts during your career. Every month you spend not understanding this threat, not engaging with this tool, not repositioning your value, is a month the gap gets wider and the retirement math will get harder. The people moving on this now will be in a completely different position in 2 years than the people who just stuck their head in the sand and waited. I want to leave this with you. The person who watches this video and has that AI conversation this week, they are not learning a new skill. They are discovering that the skills they already have are exactly what makes them powerful with this tool. 2 years from now, that person is not doing what they used to do. They are doing something that draws on everything they built in a place where their judgment is scarce and therefore valuable. They didn't wait for the market to come back for them. They found where the market needed what they already had. That person, they're not lucky. That person just moved while others waited. In the next video in this series, I'm going to take everything, that conversation with AI, what it surfaces, and show you how to turn it into a concrete plan, one that protects both you, your career, and your retirement security while this window is still open. This is Brain Flash.